Welcome back to another episode. That's episode 82 of the Spittin Hoops podcast. Last podcast, you guys got our Knicks round 3 Eastern Conference Finals preview. Today, we're taking more of an impartial look at the whole totality of both series. Obviously, spicy stuff happening both in the Pacers-Knicks game last night, game 3 that the Knicks won, and obviously the T-Wolves routed the Thunder in their game 3. So interesting stuff happening on both sides there. Um, we're basically kind of going to look back at these first 3 games on both sides, and then kind of talk about like implications. How do we get what we see happening for the rest of the series, what could happen, and then what that means for each of these teams, frankly. That's going to be the majority of this podcast. At the very end, you're going to see this immaculate grid that we recorded recently. Didn't go great, but we're going to give you guys a better one next time. Anthony,
Yes, sir.
recovering Celtics fan, how are we feeling?
We've moved on to acceptance at this point, but happy 82nd podcast, Max. And here's a fun fact. This is another kind of easy number. What would you associate with 82 for the NBA?
82 games. You give me McCall Bridges.
Yeah, that's a good one. And he's famous for having played 83 games in a season a few years ago. There were 11 players who suited up for all 82 games this year. And I'll just quickly riff them off for you. Julian Champagne from the Spurs, Bob Carrington, your boy, one of your other boys, Buddy Hield.
Yep.
And then we got Malik Beasley, Jalen Green, Jared Allen, Harrison Barnes, Chris Paul, the first, 40 years, the first time he's done it. And then 3 guys.
Wizard? Is there another wizard on that list or no?
I don't
I'm just
believe
curious.
so. Well, I think Champagne maybe, but it's his.
I'm thinking about the wrong
Spurs.
one. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about the wrong one.
And then 3 guys who are still playing: Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and of course, who you referenced earlier, the Iron Man himself, Mikal Bridges.
Get some ice on those legs, bro. Those
For real.
NAW, McCall Bridges and McDaniels all playing. They're gonna have played 100 NBA games easily.
Yeah, crazy.
But let's just dive right in. I mean, we talked about the Knicks last time. Let's just start it there. Knicks, they win last night. Very competitive game. I think it was 106 to 100. Probably a different style of game than we've seen in the first 2 games. I think game 2, obviously, this fourth quarter loss for the Knicks. Game 1 is an all-time just, capitulation if we're being honest. Probably one of the craziest comebacks that I've seen.
Yeah.
But the Knicks in game 2, they play 8 guys, including Campaign, for just 8 minutes. Game 3, you see them really expand their bench to a 4th and 5th guy, and that's Delon Wright and Landry Shamet. Campaign does not end up playing. Both of them, Wright and Shamet, end up being positives in the plus-minus category. Shamet specifically going plus 12 in his 11 minutes on the court. And I think there's just something to be said for the fact they're willing to extend their bench in this tough moment, and maybe, it working out. I think you can go one way and be a little facetious and say maybe they should have done this earlier, but I think their backs are against the wall, and I don't know, especially with the foul situation that they had with Towns and Brunson, they kind of had to go to their bench, and those guys stepped up. Will that continue? We shall see. I don't even know if they'll continue going there. I don't even know if they went that direction because of the fouls or not, but I guess we'll see in game 4.
Yeah, it definitely going to be interesting looking at some of the stats you're talking about. The Pacers bench still outscored the Knicks bench by 5, but that's what you would expect anyway. So to recover that difference is huge. The Knicks were able to outscore the Pacers by 8 points in the paint. So that was some of the kind of helpful stuff.
And the Pacers outscored by double digits the Knicks bench in game 2 and also game 1, I believe. So
right.
So 5 points is not that bad.
Right. It makes all the difference in the world. Yeah, bench points. Indiana scored them by 10 game 2 and by 14 in game 1.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, kind of like just going game by game, talking about that first game, which neither of us have been able to talk. We were reacting to it live.
Oh yeah, we were texting each other. That was unbelievable.
For the sake of like the fandom of it, that was one of the craziest games I think I've ever seen. One of the craziest comebacks in such a short time. The combination of Neesmith just hitting 3 after 3 after 3, and you can only say so much. But like that, the Halliburton shot, the combination. I saw this. It's a combination of like a Kawhi with the bounce, um, and then just like the Reggie Miller choking part, and then also the
Mhm.
KD toe on the line element of it was all
Yeah.
insane.
No, him running backwards to the 3-point line was so insane too. Like it was
Yeah,
so facetious. Like he was going for the kill shot, you know.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to start it with Neesmith. That streak of what, six threes that he hit in a row, five threes in
Yeah.
a row, and then I think the Pacers hit seven in a row. Completely brings them back from a 14-point deficit with 2.5 minutes left.
It's
Um,
insane.
that comeback and the speed of the comeback, and also the Knicks are scoring in this period. The
Yeah.
Knicks are not like, because that was another thing. It's not like the Knicks weren't scoring. It was like the Knicks would score two, Pacers score three. You know, and that's kind of how they crawled their way out. Obviously, they got some stops when needed. But
Right.
in general, like you just have to start with Neesmith. I mean, six threes in a row right there, just unbelievable. Um, each one you just thought that you I don't know. By the second three, I was like, oh, this is going in. Like you just felt like he was
Hmm.
in a rhythm, he was on fire. Um, and he didn't do much else in the game except for play solid-ish defense. Like, but he was like the player of the game just from that stretch. Like it was crazy
Totally.
to watch. Like, I mean, I think the rest of the game he had less than double-digit points, right? So yeah, just unbelievable. I think you have to start with him, but the game in its totality was just electric, frankly. Just
Yeah.
absolutely great game. And it kind of felt like the Knicks ran out of gas. And I think game two, you really feel like the Knicks ran out of gas a little bit, but this game specifically, I mean, by the time it gets to overtime, it's a little tough. And I think the Knicks got a few rough calls a little bit in that OT,
Hmm.
but in general, like it felt like they ran out of gas still.
Yeah.
At least to me.
No, totally. And I think that your point about the threes going back to game three was another huge element for the Knicks to be able to just contest more consistently on threes. Pacers shot 5 for 25, I believe, from the 3-point line in game three. Um, and so there's a part of that with Neesmith. He got hurt, he came back, but he's still down a bit. How's that going to resonate going forward? But if the Pacers, if they hit a couple more threes, they probably don't blow this 20-point lead. Um, yeah, man, this series has been nuts. This series has been fantastic. This has been a great series to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think game two, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously it's basically what tied after three.
right.
And then, but again, it just kind of felt like Knicks ran out of steam a little bit. Um, in that closing quarter for the Knicks, Brunson goes 3 for 7, which is a little rough. And this is something about Brunson. And I know, like, I don't want to bash on him too hard because I think he's doing an amazing job, frankly, throughout these playoffs. But the lack of defense makes those stretches where he's not scoring or when he's getting doubled and the other guys can't score make it really tough because, like, he's getting targeted and he's playing 40 minutes a game. So, like, in minutes 34 to 40, it's like his legs are gone, man. And that's in, like, this last game, I think when he comes back out with a minute and a half, you feel the freshness. You would have liked him to be out there earlier. But, I don't know. It just goes to show that like these teams that are just running these 5-man lineups for 40 minutes a game, it's just not really a sustainable business model. Even for like the Thunder don't do that. Um,
Yeah, they
and
also
they
don't
have
need to do that. Yeah.
they don't need to do that, but they have one of the best starting lineups. Like in theory, they could just do that, right? Um, and I think like it kind of goes to show you like and to be fair, like the adjustments that Tibbs has made throughout these playoffs, like the Mitchell Robinson minutes, and even like last game, I think going to Shamit and going to Dillon Wright was actually really good. But the fact that we never saw that at all throughout the regular season, it kind of just makes you shake your head a little bit and makes you wonder if you could have taken some minutes off those guys. In the end, like, might not matter, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's also curious to wonder. There are some guys that do better with more minutes played. Like they just
Yeah.
need to be on the court for longer so they can get in a rhythm more. And Brunson, to your point, I don't think he really needs that. We saw he immediately came in and scored after being out. Um, Also, I think a concern is it feels like there are times when the Knicks offense flows almost more smoothly when he isn't in the game.
Mhm.
Obviously, they're way better with him, but
They got more of the
there's
driving kick motions.
mhm,
Like you got McCall going to the mid range, doing some like
right,
handoffs with OG, who's then
right.
attacking, get some spacing with Towns. Like, no, I agree. I think there's something to be said for that too. That said, I mean, they are a better team with Brunson on the field. Like,
Of course.
Gotta be honest about that.
Yeah. And that's the takeover stuff. And so like I think that's the combination of that might be the final evolution of Brunson as a player. The combination of honestly, if taking a page out of Steph's book of being able to run around, not have to touch the ball for a few minutes, not have to necessarily be in complete control and just use his body and presence as a tool. And then also, upping his defense a little bit so he can be more of a plus defender, which he has at times shown in these playoffs that he can hold his own based on his size. But I
But
think
you just
those are
have to
the
be such an offensive plus if you're being like it, and it's tough because this is the issue with point guards, and this is why we don't see point guards be the best player on championship teams very often. And it's because you have to just be such a plus on offense if you're going to be the best player and be 6'3", because just defensively you're limited so hard. You become the target no matter what. No, you could be Fred VanVleet, who's probably one of the best shorter point guard defenders, and you're just going to get targeted every time down still,
right.
And I think you're right. That's something, and maybe it's just finding the moments. Like I don't even know if he needs to run around all the time, but if I think Tibbs coaching could help a little bit here, but finding plays to get other guys involved. I mean, you have him called Rich, you have Towns, and Brunson is a great spot up shooter. If you stick him in the corner for a few plays, you still got to guard him because he's a great 3-point shooter,
Right.
even on a catch and shoot. So yeah, I don't know if he needs to run around necessarily, but obviously that would be great. That would be awesome. I just don't know how realistic it is, but it's like the efficiency needs to be better. Like picking the picking the moments needs to be better because right now it's just every possession he's controlling the play, which is fine because they need it to a certain extent. But I think like some tips coaching, some better drawn up plays for the Towns and the Bridges of the world. Like, I mean, what's a good example? Like I think in game two, Towns took one shot in the fourth quarter. So,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, that was an issue, and just the lack of playing him. In general, he played fewer than 30 minutes, which is like such a pretty crazy overcorrection.
yeah.
Um,
And I think like Towns has his limitations too, but I think if you can't use a guy like Towns, at least on the offensive end, like the zero, like one shot, that's like, and Towns does have a disappearing act thing sometimes, but like
mhm.
I think it's kind of up to the coach at some point. You don't have like two plays you have in your bag that you can go to, you can drop for Towns. Like
Yeah. I mean, and we did see it that he was able to play super, super well in
last
this
night,
in this
yeah.
fourth quarter. Yeah, and then that was what made all the difference. Like he finally found a shot again. Um, I think he just yeah. I mean, once he gets kind of his head down, he's just going. It's really hard to stop him.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to stop him too when you have Mitch out there, where you have to be thinking consistently about the rebound,
Yeah.
like
'Cause, I
all
mean,
the time.
he's an amazing offensive rebounder.
You know who he was reminding me of was Kevon Looney in the Kings series.
Oh my God, just a
Like that's
problem. Just like
yeah,
mentally, just like you're just like, oh my God, like where is he? Boards, boards, boards. Like,
literally.
yeah.
I think it changes the quality of the improvement of the shot because you have to keep an eye on him. So you need a body paying attention to him. And
Mm.
then you have like 1.3 possessions per actual possession because he gets the rebound like every time.
And I think another thing is you have to have a body on him. So even if he can't shoot, even if he can't cut, if he's standing next to the hoop, there better be a man up on him. Like you
Yeah,
can't get there late on the box out either. So it kind of becomes
right.
a problem where like, and he's also like a great like you dump it down on him in the dunker spot and he's gonna dunk it right. Like you can also finish well, but it's more the fact that like even if his shot goes up from the other side of the court, I need to know exactly where Mitch Robinson is to get a body on him, and it's very impressive stuff. It's stuff that we probably should have seen more in the regular season, but so be it. Uh, things for the Pacers, I will say, I think all these guys are really just impressing me all around. This is like the Knicks were kind of the power of friendship team last year because they were injured a little bit and whatnot. This Pacers power friendship team is awesome. I mean, dude, Tony Bradley's getting 10 minutes. Thomas Bryant is getting 10 minutes here and there. It's like, dude, what? And like I kind of question those decisions, kind of think you just run Obi Toppin for more than the 20 minutes a game he gets right now, but so be it. Um, like it's awesome. Like, I mean, they're playing 11 guys. I think they played 11 guys in game two, which was a close game. So like Just unbelievable stuff. Fun stuff happening with Rick Carlisle. I don't agree with all the decisions, but I respect the willingness to try all of them. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just looking at their kind of cumulative stats and like how it compares to what we've noticed. I think the Ben Shepherd minutes have definitely been pretty solid, to be honest. He's been on the court for a few key times, and they're gonna
I
need
hit
other
big
guys.
shots in game two too. He had some. I think he had a few threes in game two there
Right.
because he can play defense, but it's like,
Yeah.
can you give me a shot here and then?
Right. Right. Exactly. The
Mm.
guy that I'm really worried about for the Pacers is Benedict Mathurin. Um, he's only averaging 4 points per game. He's only playing 13 minutes per game. And even when he's been on the court, he hasn't looked particularly amazing. Um, so I think that's somebody who's going to need to step up, especially if Neesmith can't run. Because I mean, Neesmith is shooting in this series on 32 minutes a game, 54 from the field, 73% from the free throw line, 3-point line. Obviously, a lot of that's inflated, but 17 a game, 5 boards. So he's been huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you just need him to step up.
I totally agree. I think that one of the things with Matherin is also his team is too deep. Where like, Matherin's not shooting the ball well at all right now, like 20% in these playoffs. So if he's shooting the ball 20, if you want a guy you're not too sure about on offense, like I might as well just play Ben Shepherd, who's better on defense, or Aaron Neesmith. Obviously Neesmith is like just taking the starting role, and so be it.
Right.
But like Matherin right now, it's like offensively, he's just not at the level that's would increase them high enough to play him with the defensive deficiency that he has. And I think he's really good, but that's just the way this team is constituted. Like if Benedict Mathurin was on the Knicks, he'd get 20 minutes a game, but and he would probably get more of a chance to work out the kinks in these playoffs. Or
Hmm.
maybe he would just I mean, maybe he would just falter completely. Like that's the other side of it because he's been really poor in these playoffs. But yeah, it would be great if he could step up. I don't think they need him. I don't think they need him to step up to win this series. But in general, he is pretty key to like an offensive ceiling where the game gets grimy and he's got the athleticism to kind of co-create offense.
Hmm.
And so like I deep in these playoffs, you'd love to have him, or deep in this series, you'd love to have him. I don't know if you'll need him, but against a team like the Thunder, like you're going to need him to win his matchup, and it'd be kind of tough with the way he's playing. So and
Totally.
that's like kind of looking a little forward, but yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it also is plus minus. It's just everything. It's plus minus is -10 for the series, and like everybody else is like around zero at least.
well, I mean, he can't shoot the rock right now, so it's like
Yeah,
you're not giving me good defense. You can't shoot the rock, and then like you're shooting at the rim as well as Ben Shepherd. Like, why would I ever play you over Ben Shepherd?
yeah, right, right, yeah, um,
So it's kind of tough, and it's tough for a guy who I really like, and it's tough for a guy who's like again getting 16 minutes in these playoffs when he played 30 minutes a game in the regular season. But you shot 35% from three in the regular season, and that makes you playable.
right, yeah, and that's why you get the trust.
Yeah,
Um, hmm,
but unfortunately, I think this is, I think the minutes cut is pretty warranted, to be honest.
mhm, right. Looking at some of the other things, little things for the Pacers. I think like Halliburton and Turner in terms of their 3-point shooting, they need to step it up. Turner's only shooting 21% this series. Um,
I will say like I respect he's still willing to shoot it. Like
yes,
I will
yes,
respect that. I will
totally.
respect that.
And they're
Um,
generating good looks,
yeah, yeah,
like pretty consistently. So I mean, Siakam has been
awesome,
if he's
awesome
been
in
awesome. I mean,
game two.
that would be interesting. I mean, obviously there's a lot of series left, but between him and Halliburton for who's the MVP of this team, um,
Yeah,
probably Halliburton.
it probably depends on the rest of the series, but
Yeah,
like if Siakam gives you another 40-point game, like it's
yeah,
I mean his 40-point game in game two is also like he won them that game in my
yeah.
opinion. Like he is not missing. He like what Tyrese is going like what 5 for 15 in that game.
Right.
And like in the first half, I think Barkley said this actually at the halftime on TNT, and he was like, literally, he's like, none of the Pacers have showed up to play. Siakam has just kept them in the game, and then the
Yeah.
Pacers won, and then the Pacers won, and it's like if they don't have Siakam that game, they lose that game by 40.
Hmm.
Like they were like no flame. They were ready to pack it up and go back to Indiana. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Good thing they didn't.
yeah, good thing they
Um,
didn't. But we'll see what happens in game four. I'm kind of excited. Do you have any predictions or anything else you want to break down?
other little things. Predictions for the Pacers. I think the Pacers are still in a pretty solid position, depending on the Naismith injury thing.
Mm.
If their shooting can just get up to even like what it's been close to. Um, I think for the Knicks, what we talked about with Brunson, I think a little bit more Miles McBride action. I'd be curious to see what would happen if he had a bigger spotlight. I know he hit a couple big shots in game three, but overall, he hasn't been shooting the rock great in this series. He does have a great plus minus, so he clearly is
He has
providing.
been good in these playoffs, I think.
Yeah,
I do think he's been quite good.
yeah,
Like what's a good example? Like he's not like overperforming, but he's giving you
hmm
15 minutes of like replacement level NBA minutes, and the Knicks
yeah,
just don't have that. Replacement level is also
right.
putting it like poorly, but like he's not a negative at all, and the Knicks just don't have that on their bench. So
Right.
he frankly should play more.
hmm Yeah. So yeah, maybe him playing more. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think this is the reason why I think you, Mark, and myself all had a 7 game series.
Mhm.
Um, I don't really think that there's been anything to suggest that there needs to be an adjustment in either of our predictions. I mean, the Pacers winning a miracle game one, and then the Knicks coming back down from the 20-point deficit, 15 points late in the third quarter on big help of cold shooting from the Pacers, but also Cat going crazy. So those two situations balance themselves out. It easily could be 2-1, easily could be 3-0 in either direction. Um,
Yeah, fairs. I think that's fair, but I think like the Pacers have clearly had the edge in this series. Like there's
mm,
another world where this is 3-0 for the Pacers.
totally.
There's not really a world I think where it's 3-0 for the Knicks
Where's three?
probably.
Right, but it could be 2-1.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's fair.
And but yeah, and that's why I picked the Pacers to win in 7 because I think they just had to have a very slight. Maybe it's like a psychological edge. I think there's an element of like we are going to win this thing. Ism going on, and when I mean even last night when they were down by 2 and Miles Turner hit that shot, it looked like it was going to go in. It lipped
Yeah.
out. And then Josh Hart, came in with the rebound of all rebounds.
I'm kind of leaning towards adjusting my prediction towards to Pacers and 7. But I kind of want to ride with my prediction for now, so I'll keep
Yeah.
it. But I definitely it's gonna be an uphill battle for these Knicks, man. I think the Pacers haven't made any big adjustments yet. I think Mitch just getting 30 minutes a game consistently, entering a starting spot, that was one of the big adjustments that Knicks could make. I will say I don't
Mm,
think it really affected game three at all. Like I don't think Mitch starting for Josh Hart, vice versa, like changed very much. Um, but I think like you haven't seen the Pacers dig into their bigger adjustments. I mean, they could start playing Obi 30 minutes. You could play Siakam at 3. You could do like, they have other adjustments they could go to that they haven't. And I that makes me worried for the Knicks. Like the Knicks are kind of reaching. You got 15 minutes to Landry Shamet last night. You know, like
yeah.
we're digging in the bag deep, and that makes me
Yeah.
pretty worried about the Knicks.
Yeah, we're in the trenches.
Yeah. Like that's insane. Like
Yeah. I mean, it's been a pretty good hate watch for me so far.
yeah,
I've
I can
enjoyed
imagine.
this. For sure.
Um
But
with
great series, loving this. Just got to
yeah,
say, like, super happy
yeah.
about this. The last thing, like, on the historical precedent of like the
The callback with
90s.
the Reggie
Hmm.
Reggie callback, like having that in game one with Tyrese, just awesome.
Right,
Paying homage to it felt so sick. Like in
right,
game one, there's something really special to that.
totally. Yeah, yeah. It was really cool. Like how like excited he got. He found Reggie. They pointed at each other.
And Reggie's
Um,
he did
yeah,
the Iguodala to Wiggins thing.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this has been a great series. Halliburton has. I mean, he's outplayed his stats. I didn't even realize how like I thought his stats were going to be better. 20, I mean, 22 and 10 is amazing, but like to only be shooting 30%
Okay.
from the field in the series.
Can I give you something though? Like I think he's really good, but he flows out of the game. For a point guard, he flows out of the game really aggressively. There are sometimes he's just standing 10 feet behind the 3-point line while the Pacers are like running a set. And I'm like, Hal, you could just like stand at the 3-point line. Like, and like a super small pet peeve because like he's averaging 10 assists a game in these playoffs, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it feels like he's like not involved in the offensive play sometimes. I'm like, yo, dog, like, hello, just stand at 3-point. Like, you don't have to like,
Yeah.
you don't have to go get the ball, but just like
Yeah.
be a shooter. And the thing
Yeah.
is, like, someone's still guarding him even if he's back there because he just gets the ball and he starts moving. You want to have a body on him, but it does not help in the situation a ton sometimes. So I don't know. That's one of my
Yeah.
small pet peeves that I have of Halliburton, especially in like game two. First half of game two, I was saying a lot, and I was like, dude, like, get greedy, man. Like, or not
Yeah.
even get greedy, just stand at 3-point line. That's all I
Yeah.
want. Just don't stand 10 feet behind because you're not even a threat at that point. You're not in the offense.
Well, I mean, to your point, I saw the stat about I saw let's see. Oh, yes. Tyrese Halliburton was 25-3 with the Pacers when scoring more than 20 points per game or 20 points this season. Um, so they win when he's more offensively aggressive. And he had a great game one, and they won that. And then he's had two, not subpar, but just like less scoring games. And they won one of them. But
But truly,
to
he
your
has
point,
also been amazing, though. Like truly, like
he's been so good.
outside shooting hasn't been amazing throughout the playoffs, but outside of that, he's been awesome. Even defensively, he's
Yeah.
been good. I don't have that much slander for his defense
Yeah.
in these playoffs either. But yeah, I
Totally.
agree. Like if you could just press the issue a little bit more, I think it would go wonders. It would go like Siakam had to be the one in game two, but if he's not the one in game four, I hope Halliburton wakes up to them, like rises to the moment, presses the issue. I think
Mhm.
that's the one last thing that Halliburton might be missing is like the pace pushing in the right moments.
Right.
I think
And
in
he's
the
already,
clutch, and in the clutch he
yeah.
does it really well. But it's in like the
Yeah.
second quarter when you're about to go down from 10 to 15,
Yeah. Right.
keeping your team in the game. I think those
Right.
moments Halliburton still is like, like I said, 5 feet behind 3-point line, and I'm like,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
like, and then they're running like a Obi top in Siakam set on the other side. Halliburton's not involved in the play, so he's not even like, and I'm like, come on, like just
Like
stand
to
at the three. Just stand at like Brunson actually, when the Knicks run plays for the other people, he's at the 3-point line ready for a catch and shoot. And a lot of times it
right.
goes out to them and he drinks.
Right.
Just want to see that from Halbert. And also that's another 3, 4, 5 free points a game probably that you're getting,
Mm.
just from being a threat. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's close. He's right there. Um,
He's knocking on the door of being one of these top 10 guys, and I'm really curious to revisit my top 10 list in the offseason because Halliburton, I will say, is someone that these stats, his 18-9 in these playoffs do not do him justice for like the influence that he has on the game of basketball that he plays every night.
totally. Well, I liked your point about like there's different types of clutch, and one of them is like end of the game clutch, but then another one of it is like don't let go of the rope clutch,
Mhm.
where you could hit a big three if the other team just went on like a 10-3 run or something, and then you hit a three to kind of quiet that down. And I like what you're saying about like he's like, all right, oh, we'll figure it out, like as long as the game's close.
Yeah,
Whereas Brunson has his fingerprints on the game throughout it, including clutch time.
yeah,
Um,
and that's one of the
but
reasons I put Brunson ahead of Halliburton at the moment.
right,
But
right,
Halliburton's doing a lot in the gap, like things like that, small gaps.
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I think this series has been awesome, man. This has
It's
been
been
awesome. Both of
great.
these teams, I think both these teams deserve to make a finals. I poo-pooed the Pacers early on in these playoffs, and truly I regret it. Like this is a team that's going to make the NBA Finals while playing Thomas Bryant minutes in in the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, they lost both of their backup. They kept the same team from last year. Their one big addition was Isaiah Jackson, who was going to get them more backup center minutes, hopefully as he developed. Jarris Walker coming off an injury and James Wiseman, who they signed to be a backup center. All three of them haven't worked out, and they're playing Thomas Bryant.
Mm,
And they're still here, like super impressive. And the Knicks as well. Like, frankly, the Knicks as well, just like powering through. Mitch Robb didn't play half the season, comes in, and he's just so influential in these series. Like, it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed these Eastern Conference playoffs, especially for a guy who I'm always poo-pooing the Eastern Conference. But both of these teams could beat the T-Wolves. I don't know if both of these teams could beat the Thunder. I mean, I'm sure they could, but like, I'm not sure if both these teams would beat the Thunder. But these are on both sides. These are extremely formidable conference finals teams.
mm. Yeah, it's great to see. Love it. Love it
Yeah.
when both are somewhat well balanced.
Yeah, and rising to the occasion. Both teams are playing very well.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Other side of the conference. Um, uh, Thunder obviously up 2-1. They got two games up. They in Oklahoma City. Won both those games by basically 20-point margins. T Wolves made up that margin in one game, winning by 40 in game three. LOL. But obviously they're gonna play again in Minnesota, and that's probably gonna be a pretty big definer. Obviously, you're either gonna go 2-2 back to Oklahoma City, or you're 3-1 down back to Oklahoma City. Those are pretty different outcomes if you're Minnesota. Um, Overall, this series, I'm not taking too much out of game three. I thought there was some fun stuff happening in game three, some Terrence Shannon minutes. Um, you know, I, in general, I'm still a little bit sussy about the T Wolves bench. But I'm hoping that, again, like I said, these Terrence Shannon minutes I thought were really interesting because he hasn't gotten a lot of them. He's a little bit more of an offensive creative guy. Um, but I'm not sure if game three tells me a ton adjustment wise for either team. I think game four is actually going to tell us a ton, which is unfortunate because game four is probably going to decide the series in a lot of ways. So we'll see.
Well, it'll definitely decide if the series
T will stay alive.
extends.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
Um, yeah. I mean, definitely a must win for the T Wolves. It's always tough to say when these blowout games happen. Just like kind of looking at some of the bench. I mean, the T Wolves shot 50% from the 3-point line. Finally, very Celticsy in that way, where if they are missing their threes, they're just going to keep attempting them.
Mm.
Um, but Ant Edwards going 5 for 8, Jaden McDaniels hitting 2 for 4, Julius Randle 2 for 5.
Nickel Alexander
Um,
Walker 2 for 4. Who,
right,
if he gives you
Dante
any,
2, Nas 2.
this
Like,
is the thing. Like, if this bench that the T Wolves has so hit or miss, and they haven't been able, I feel like in this series, game one or game two, they haven't been able to get people playing consistently well at the same time. Like
yeah,
in game, what's a good example? Game one, they play their three-man. Right now, they've been rolling with a three-man bench basically of Dante Naz and Nickel Alexander Walker. Those three guys in game one combined for 5 for 28 from the 3-point line. Um, None of them played well.
yeah,
Game two, um, frankly, I don't think you get 17 points for Nickel Alexander Walker, who's not great offensively. Typically, he's still -6 plus minus, but he actually had a good game. But neither of the other two guys did, Dante and Naz. And so, like, that's the thing. Like, I think you need these bench guys to really step up because you made this Towns trade hoping to be upgrading your bench with Dante and having more consistency as to like one or two guys stepping up. And finally, in game three, you kind of got a mass stepping up from a lot of different sides, including Terrence Shannon, who I referenced before. I just don't know if it's going to be consistent. Like, I don't know if they're going to get multiple bench guys to step up every game because that's the route to win. I think. I think right now, as much as the T Wolf starters have gotten mauled in some of these games, like I think not having a bench to go to, not having a second adjustment to go to has been a little tough. Because the Thunder are playing like Kenrich Williams, so like screw it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
The T Wolves aren't like, and the T Wolves in game three were finally like, oh, Terrence Shannon, 15 minutes here. And he went like, 20 points. And it's like, I want to see, the T Wolves are going to get desperate in game four. So I'm curious to see where the lineups go.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
Like if
And
Nickel
again,
Alexander Walker misses two threes in the first two quarters, if Nickel Alexander Walker's 0 for 4 by halftime, like there's a chance you might not see him the rest of the game. You know?
yeah, it's just like where's the effort? Like once that's done, like or once they're missing threes. Um,
Well,
because I mean, yeah,
I really think though, like I think they have a bully ball ability with like a Randall Naz front line with no Gobert and having Dante McDaniels and Ant. But the thing is that lineup requires a lot of made threes outside of them because Ant and Randall are the only creators in that lineup. So be it. But I think the issue with that lineup so far is just like 3-point shooting hasn't been there, and you feel like you need to play Gobert. And I don't know, like Gobert is great, obviously, but like Naz hasn't been good enough to like kind of push Gobert out of the 35 minutes a game that he gets.
right, right, and it's yeah, and I mean it's helpful around the rim, everything that Gobert can do, and we saw that in like the first couple rounds. But this is just a different team with the Thunder.
Yeah. And you want to be able to play Gobert 30 minutes, but right now he's playing 30 minutes out of like pure necessity because like, Naz is just not there. Like Naz is just not giving you what you need from him. And who I think is amazing, by the way. Anything Naz Reid is awesome, but it's just been tough a little bit.
It just feels like in these games, if it's a close game going into the half, there's that third quarter
Yep.
that, and I was actually making this comp to somebody of like why people seem to really hate OKC a lot for some reason. I feel like that's like a discourse going around right now. Have you seen this? Like people just poo-pooing OKC. Maybe it's more like Celtics fans who are like just
No,
like salty. Um,
no.
but I've seen like a lot of people poo-pooing the Thunder and saying like this is not the team that we want to see win. Which I disagree with. It seems like you hadn't even heard that narrative, but to me it feels like there are people that see this team that won 68 games that kills teams with their third quarter runs. Um, doesn't shoot the three amazing, but just kind of has like their thing, which is like hounding defense. And it feels like a sort of welcome to the league moment in a way that Steph Curry and the Warriors did a decade ago to this season,
Mhm.
that people like weren't expecting. That it
Well,
was supposed to
I
be
think
Jokic and Tatum and all these other guys.
I think that's pretty interesting, frankly. I think like no flame to these Thunder, but even defensively, those Warriors teams were just on like they were literally the best defense in the league at that time too. Like, so I think it's like tough, but you're right in terms of they have that thing, they have that gear they can turn on,
Yeah.
and their gear is not an offensive gear. Like, I think I think those KD Warriors had an offensive and defensive gear they could go to. That was another level. These
Yeah.
Thunder just have a defensive gear and to some extent an offensive gear that they can go to that just puts them out of reach from a lot of these teams. And frankly, I think a lot of these teams should learn from them because I think that's the margin right now. I think a lot of the offense in the NBA is really, really good. We're hitting a high end of it, and the ability to defend it, we're figuring out ways to do so. These Thunder, I mean, they held the T Wolves less. They basically held the T Wolves 100 points or less, pretty much in game one and two. I think T Wolves had 102 points in game two. Um, but I think like this is what the margins are, man. You need good defenses to compete in this league. The Cavs, you can't compete with the Pacers if the Pacers are strapping you and putting up 130. Like you either need to bring the 130 number down or or you could score more points, but it's a lot easier to play good defense than to score more points, frankly. And so I think like that's kind of the reality of the situation here is that the Thunder are exposing market inefficiency that I think has been pretty evident in the NBA for a while, actually. And I think like perimeter defense and high end defense can carry you through a lot of games, a lot of series, etc.
Mhm.
And I think a really good example of that was like the Rockets and the Warriors this year, for example. Like these are not super skilled teams, super like I think the Warriors had like two high end talent guys. The rest of the team is terrible. Rockets, not really any high end talent, but just deep teams. And the defense can just carry you really, really far. Celtics, same thing. So I don't know. I think the Thunder are showing that gear is available to be exploited. And we'll see as it develops. Like I think also it needs to continue for a little longer. Like if they do this for consistently for a few years, I'm sure I'm gonna have PTSD about it too. Like these third quarter Thunder runs. But I think the comparison is fair. I think the comparison is fair, and it's more natural than the Warriors who just add KD in free agency. Like the Thunder have been targeting these defensive minded guys for a long time. They're just exposing an inefficiency in the NBA today.
Mhm. Yeah, look, I mean, looking at the series, I'm looking at all the series stats, and they're pretty even. I think a lot of it has to do with that 43 point blowout. Um, but the
Literally just made back
Thunder,
the margin.
yeah, exactly. But in those first two games, Thunder were just outclassing the Timberwolves and all the defensive stuff. Um, they go on these runs to your point where it's like they don't hit. It's not like they're bombing threes the way the Pacers are. Um, they're playing good defense. There's live ball transitions that get them out on the break. They get them to either to the free throw line or just layups, and then just forcing tough shots on the other side. So even if it's not a live ball transition, it's a tough shot, long rebound, bad three, whatever the case may be. Doesn't give the Timberwolves a chance to set their own defense.
Yeah,
And here come
totally
the
agree.
Thunder.
Yeah, and then you get the frenzy. It's like the frenzy aspect where it's like, oh, you get two steals, and now it's like Now Casey Wallace thinks he's better than Ant Edwards, and
Right.
he's hitting two threes in the third quarter. I think that happened
Right.
in game two, where it's like yeah, two steals down the court. Everyone's getting hyped. Casey Wallace hits two threes. Now he's like, I'm the GOAT. SJ's getting to the free throw line. It's like, how do I stop this? Like that, like there's too much. Please, please, please. And it's like I Hart gets two offensive boards, kicks it back out. J Dub hits a midi. You're like, oh my God, guys, guys, guys. Like, you know, so
Right.
like that is something that Thunder have that's just like I think that frenzy aspect, like it's not something that the Warriors had, where it's like a yeah, like I don't know, it's like the power of friendship a little bit moments where you're like, oh my
Mhm.
God, like Case and Wallace could be the third best player on a championship team. Like you watch him
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like you watch him for like 2 minute stretches. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like those Warriors teams just weren't deep enough to have that. I mean, they had a good bench, but not to that extent. It's like Kenrich Williams comes in, it's like three threes, and you're like, oh my God, this guy like Bill Simmons literally said this on his podcast. It's like, could this guy have been the fourth best player on the Nuggets? Like you watch Kenrich Williams for these stretches sometimes when they're all firing as well, and that's how it feels. So it's
Right.
really electric to watch.
Right. Yeah. No, it is really cool to watch. And yeah, I mean, it's energy. Energy is contagious, energy is infectious. And when teams are all playing well, when they're in the flow, it just gives those guys more confidence to do it. And then once you start playing clunky, once you start playing off, people want to do hero ball. They step out of their roles, they step out of their lanes, the emotions get the best of them. So it's like, how do you find those things in line with what you're trying to accomplish? How do you get your hot hand ability, your defense first ability locked in? And then you feel great. You're like, hey, I'm playing with the MVP on my team, and I can shoot this three right now. Versus like, uh-oh, not really sure, kind of losing the rope. Which is interesting because this was one of Shea's like first big, like, kind of down games where he just did not have an imprint. Even though in game one he had a bad first half, he came back and he had a great second half. Um,
They had half as
that's
many
all.
shots, and in the first half of Game 3, had half as many shots as Ant Edwards. You know,
Right.
and like I know the T-Wolves are worse, like around like as a whole than the Thunder probably, but still like SGA, for like you go 1 for 4 -20 in the first half of Game 3.
Right.
It's like ooh,
Right.
and I to be honest, I will say I think my take is that I think that was a one-off. I think the Thunder probably win Game 4. I think it's possible they win Game 5. I was really impressed with them in games 1 and 2. I just think that Game 3 they came that the T Wolves came out with a really impressive energy, but like in the first half alone, the T Wolves shot like 60% from the field, and it's gonna be tough to stop if that happens again. But I just don't know how recreatable that is. And especially with the fact that
Yeah.
I think the T Wolves defense isn't good enough to pull the Thunder down offensively
Mhm.
as much as you would need to. I think the Thunder do are exposable on offense a little bit. I don't think the T Wolves defense is good enough at this point in time, which is kind of disappointing because last year I thought they were literally one of the best defenses I've ever seen. But so good.
Yeah, they are really, really good.
Yeah. It was just
Yeah.
hilarious. Like, yeah, I don't know. Last year really like they haven't changed much outside of just swapping Cat for Randall, but last year they were just on another level defensively than they were this year. I don't know
They
why.
were, they were, they were so good.
No. I don't know
Yeah,
what happened. I don't know what happened.
yeah. I
I mean
mean,
they're really good still. They're really good still, but
yeah. Maybe like part of it like DiVincenzo's addition to like the wing rotation too. Like I don't know how good of a defender he is.
I mean I think classically he's been pretty good, but
Yeah,
yeah, like I don't know. Like it's weird. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. And I think some of the kind of goes both ways when the offense is a little bit more stagnant. Not saying that they're a lot more stagnant than last year, but even if it's slightly more stagnant, you have a little bit more turnovers going. Like you said before, we can't set the defense, get in transition,
right.
fouls in transition. Like it makes it tough. So maybe that's just
Yeah,
been a thing, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious to see how they operate from here because at a certain point you need to Gobert to play defense against the center team. At the other point, it's like Gobert is going to pull your offense down a lot too. And you really just need Naz Reid to be a threat in offense.
mhm.
So
I know he's been very underwhelming for them. Shooting
very
third
underwhelming.
in the series, 32 and 13% splits.
God, the one positive of this is maybe the Warriors can sign and trade for him now. Oh my God.
Yeah. Please keep
Um,
shooting like shit.
yeah, please, Naz.
And
Please
then
hiding
it's
hiding how good you are from the world.
Yeah, and then it's in the opposite for Randall, where he's like played so
Yeah,
well
he's gonna
that
play into a max contract. He's gonna get
yeah,
re-signed to the max contract. So,
yeah, it's just
um,
going the worst possible way for both.
hilarious. I mean, we'll talk about this now soon, but they'll have to trade one of those four guys. Like they can't pay. I mean, they can't pay maxes basically. They're not paying Nasri to max. You can't pay Gobert, Randall, McDaniels, Edwards 30 mil each, and then also pay Nas 25 mil.
Yeah,
So
I can't
they'll
believe.
have to trade. They'll have to trade some, which is gonna be really interesting.
Wait, they're not a second apron team, are they?
Believe they are, and
Oh,
they
brutal.
can't stay there a second year. I don't believe.
What's the penalty for that? They lose a draft
You
pick.
your draft pick gets yeah. Well, after the first year, your draft pick 7 years from now, in that first year of being the second apron gets frozen, and if you have a second year in the second apron in the next 3 years after that, it becomes the 30th pick. That frozen pick becomes the 30th pick.
No matter what.
Yeah. So
Wow.
2030, so it's 2025 right now. The
Yeah.
Suns, their 2032 pick is frozen. If next year they were in the second apron again, that pick would instantly become the 30th pick. Um,
Wow.
yeah. But if it just has to happen, the issue is it just has to happen once in the 3 years after you're in the second
Mm,
apron once. So they can't go back in at any point. So they're gonna have to make some long-term solutions.
they are.
Unfortunately, I think Randall walking is just the easiest one. Just Randall walks. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
So you avoid it. Um, yeah, interesting.
He's got a player option that he had there 3 months ago. There was a chance he could pick up that player option and just try to, swing for a max contract in free agency. The way he's playing, he's gonna get 25 mil at least,
25.
at
Well, he's
least, at least.
yeah, at least. Well, I mean, isn't his player option for like 29 mil
Yeah,
next year?
but I mean a year.
So
I mean per year though.
yeah,
Like if
yeah.
he could, I don't know if he'll get a full max for 4 years. Like he's not gonna get the Paul George 200 million for 4 years, right?
No, no,
Um,
no. But
but
he could get like
he get
35 a year.
35.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For
So,
sure.
so interesting
Uh,
stuff, man.
yeah,
I think we will see. I think we will see. I just don't know
yeah.
where the money's coming from, but the Nets got it, so we'll see.
The one, oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the Nets, of course they do.
yeah,
Uh, it's just kind of a shame that this series has been such a blowout. I saw something, the margin of victory has been 28 points per game on average
on
for,
average, yeah. I mean, the first two games were 20, third games 40.
yeah.
Makes sense.
So it's like a couple of interesting first halves, but, and maybe that's a youth thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little bit psychology heavy here because the other side of the bracket is relatively young as well,
Mhm.
relatively young. But those teams, they keep fighting when they're down by 20. Or
Yeah.
not that the other teams aren't fighting, but when they're down by 20, you know that the game is not over. But in this series, it feels like once you're down 20, the game is over.
Well, to be fair, I mean, this in game, I think for example, game three was a pretty good demonstration. Like the Thunder were down 20 playing their whole starting lineup. They just by halftime they're down 30, and
Yeah.
it's like that's like, we're starting to get some pretty big margins. I think it might just be the streakiness of these teams, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, like
Right.
and if you go down the T-Wolves roster, you tell me there's a streaky team, like it's no surprise. I mean, Nasri, Nickeil Alexander Walker, and Dante DiVincenzo, and Edwards, Julius Randle. Like, tell me those
That
guys are streaky, I'm gonna be like, yeah, probably.
definition of streak.
Yeah, so maybe that has to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
On the opposite
Something
side, I
about the
mean,
players. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but on the opposite side, it's like the Thunder
They can be
haven't been
streaky.
too. They can be streaky on offense, but even that, like game three, they were bad on defense.
Yeah. Pretty consistently.
Yeah, I mean, you gave up
Yeah.
40 points per quarter for a whole. You literally gave up 40 points per quarter for a whole game. It's like, and I know the Thunder. I know the T will shot the lights out, but like, chat, come on.
Yeah. Chat and chat. Come on.
Yeah, check. Come on. Check. Okay, this is actually I had this written down in my notes. This is one of the last things I want to talk about. I like Chet. The more I watch him in these playoffs, the more I wonder if he's more of a problem solver player than a star independently. If that makes any sense. I think he fits, solves a lot of issues, rebounds the ball, shoots three. But if you're depending on him to be a guy or a one A guy or one B guy in this year or the next few years, I think that's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
And I might be overreacting a little bit, but that's just he's good on defense, not amazing. You have to hide him on dunker spot guys if Julius Randle, if he's guarding Julius Randle, just 'cause he's so skinny. And then it's like offensively, I know he shoots the three ball well and is a pretty good passer for his position, but it's like, scores 15 a game. Like so I think he's closer to a problem solver. He's closer to this is a bad example, actually. This is disrespectful, but at this point in time, he's closer to like a Michael Cooper than he is to like a Scottie Pippen.
Mm, okay.
Or Michael
Sure.
Cooper could play for like any team, just he's so amazing defensively and pretty good, like
Yeah.
physically able to
Good
play
3-point
offense.
shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Scottie Pippen was like a star in his own right.
Right. He could lead a team to 55 wins.
He could leave a team if it's like that much. And it's like Chet
Um,
maybe could do that for stretches without SGA, but you would need the Thunder. You need these Thunder, which is like one of the deepest teams I've seen.
yeah. Yeah. And this is why this is not a winner of the West wins the championship type of year.
Yeah,
Even,
which I think it will be, but that's not guaranteed. Like this
yeah.
is because if the Pacers play this Thunder team, Siakam is going to beat Chet in their matchup a few times in that
Mm,
playoffs, and like whether that equates to like a really long series or the Pacers winning, like I don't know, but like yeah,
yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a crazy series.
I think we'll probably
Um,
get it. I will say, yeah, I think the Thunder just last on this series. I think the Thunder are going to slam the T-Wolves for this series.
hmm. And if we do get this series where the teams who are leading right now end up winning their series, which it's
Mhm.
only 2-1, so things could change. Fun
Absolutely.
stat that I think I'm gonna take credit for this because I just thought of this, but maybe it's out there at this point that the Thunder and the Pacers were both finalists in the in-season tournament in the prior 2 years. The Bucks obviously won one last year, and the Lakers won the year before. So look out for the in-season tournament runner-up that's coming
It's a
here.
pretty good indicator of like who's going to have an absolutely catastrophic playoffs if you win it, and who's going to
Yeah,
who's
right,
going
right. Who's
to
gonna lose? Who's gonna win one game in the first round?
yeah.
If
If
you
you
win,
yeah, if you yeah, apparently if you win the in season cup like within a year, one of your star players is getting traded.
yeah,
Like AD now Giannis like
yeah. And if you
um
lose, like you're in a pretty good place. I mean,
you're
both these
literally gonna
teams are
win
in a
the NBA
great place.
finals. You're literally gonna
Yeah,
win the NBA finals. Um so watch out for the Wizards next year when they're runners up. Anyways, that's
sheesh.
all I got. That's all I got on this. I'm really excited. We've been loving these games. I think the quality of games has been really high. I haven't loved the games in the Western Conference Finals, but knowing these teams, we're bound to get a really competitive game four. Like it's not going to continue like this. So it's been electric, man. I just the quality of basketball has been really high. And I guess my final thought is like I think we're watching only one of the top five players in the world right now in these playoffs, and I haven't felt like the quality of basketball has been low.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Was it Mark last week who said that this is the first time where it
Yeah,
feels like the top 15 guys, like any of them can be a top five guy once in
yeah,
a while? So I think
yeah. He
that's
did say
definitely
that. He
fair.
did say that. No,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
So, and to
Right,
your
shout
point,
to
like
Mark.
it's been great. I mean, because Brunson can be a top five guy, and I guess we're seeing Halliburton play like he believes he is a top five guy. Whether
Yeah,
that's true
it's
or not.
like it's like I mean, they're not even like playoff risers. It's just everyone's playing well. Like like
Yeah,
it's like you're like I don't think like Tyrese Halliburton is playing like that much better than he is in the regular season. He's just continued what he's done, and it's been really impressive. Like it's awesome.
right.
This is great stuff. It's like 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 you're saying that Mark said. Like the era of parity is just great to watch, and it's really electric to watch these playoffs. It makes me feel
Yeah,
like any team's got a shot. Like isn't that all you want rolling into a playoffs series? It's like feeling like you as the eight seed or the one seed, you have a shot to make the finals, and like frankly, like not poo-pooing the Pacers again, saying no one believed in them, but kind of no one believed in them. And they're, 2 games away from making the NBA finals. So it's
right.
pretty awesome. Like,
Yeah, it is great. We got a 3, a 4, and a 6 seed.
yeah, I mean, the T Wolves just absolutely collapsed in the last like 3 months of the regular season, right? Out of the top like 4 seeds of the Western Conference. And like,
And here they
they're
are.
they're 3 games away from NBA finals. So
Yeah,
pretty great stuff. I think it's awesome.
yeah. This has been great. Yeah. Um, we'll see.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that there'll be a time in the next couple of years where NBA fans are going to start to get a little bit annoyed. They're going to want to see another dynasty back, and then just because like with the Cavs Warriors, it was like, oh, this is so boring. Now we're in this era of parody. Um,
Well,
the
I
first
think we got a dynasty in front of our eyes, man. This Thunder is not going away anytime soon. I'm going to turn 35 before the Thunder are bad.
got to win a chip.
Got to win. Hey, start it this year. Ain't no time like the present.
We thought the Celtics were going to be a dynasty last year, talking about C's winning the series and stuff. I mean, Tatum obviously.
Okay, dynasties. I didn't think
Well,
that. I mean,
back
I
to
thought they were.
back.
Is that a dynasty? But Bill Simmons wouldn't call the war. Did you see that? I don't know if you ever saw this. After the Warriors won in 2022, Bill Simmons like refused to call them a dynasty, even though they won 4 chips in 7 years.
Was it like, oh, well, you had technically a slump, so it doesn't count or something? Like, is that the take?
It was like it's too long of a period of time. It was not enough winning in too long of a period of time. It was stupid. Yeah, it was dumb.
I mean, they did have like that awful down year, but other than that, yeah, I don't think it's a hot take to call a team that wins 4 championships in 8 years a
7 years
dynasty.
with like the
Yes.
main core three guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, if we're using that standard, not a lot of teams are going to be dynasties anytime soon. So, with that, do you want to get into your quiz?
Oh, yes, yes, let's do it. All right, Max.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he'll be all right. I don't have the numbers. I just have the list.
Okay.
But this is going to be pretty easy. I have the top 20 players, so we'll see how you do. The top playoff scorers of the 2020s decade in terms of
Ooh,
cumulative points.
sorry, I'm looking for a list of NBA teams. Just sort of cumulative points.
Cumulative points starting from the 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, the 2020 season. Yeah.
You're giving me top 20. You're telling me to do top 20.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. We'll see how you do.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Jokic,
Jokic is number 2,
Giannis.
is number 8. Well, it's interesting because
Damn,
this is the
there's got to be
decade
some.
of this is the decade of parity, right? So
Yeah, this is actually great. Jimmy Butler,
Jimmy Butler is number 4.
Donovan Mitchell,
Donovan Mitchell is number 9.
LeBron James,
Is number 10.
Luka Doncic,
Is number 5.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is number 16.
Ooh. The issue is like these Clippers guys, they don't play enough. I don't. I can't get myself to pick them. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is number 14.
Yeah, missing the playoffs. Do that to you. Brunson,
Brunson, big body Brunson's number 6.
Towns.
Cat is the first guy who's actually not on this list.
Damn. I thought he'd made
Yeah.
the. I thought he'd been in the playoffs on it. So no, he's what? Can you give me what rank he is right now?
Um,
Uh-huh.
let's see. Let me see if I can find him.
Well, here I'll guess. I'll give you Tatum and Brown also. By the way,
Tatum and Brown were the other two. I mean, I'll be honest. Shout out StatMuse. That's what I'm using.
no,
And I
no,
have the
that's
top
fine. It cuts
25
off.
guys, and it cuts off at 25. So I'm just giving you the top 20, and Cat is not on the top 25.
Okay,
Tatum
that's fine.
is number
That's enough.
Tatum is number 1 by actually a very decent margin. Tatum
Yeah,
has
okay. Just bet.
2,400 points. He's just always
been in the
there.
playoffs. Yeah, it's too deep.
Right. And then Jaylen Brown, to your point, is number 3. Just him, Jokic, and Jaylen Brown are the only 3 guys who have scored more than 2,000 points in the playoffs this decade.
That's awesome.
So you
Tatum,
have the top
Jokic, Brown,
6.
Giannis. Who's 5? Luka.
So in order of the guys you have right now, you have Tatum, Jokic, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson. 7 you don't have yet. Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron.
I hadn't guessed Brunson yet. Or I did get Brunson.
You guessed Brunson.
But I don't have 7.
You know number 7. Yes. You had Anthony Davis.
Kevin Durant.
Is just outside the top 20.
Damn. Okay. I think I know where this list is going. Okay. Give me Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday is number 18 on the list.
Give me Devin Booker.
Devin Booker is number 11 on the list.
Give me Derek White.
Derek White is number 20 on the list.
Come on,
God.
I'm pretty happy about that.
God. God.
Okay, who am I missing? I'm missing like 19.
You're missing, I'll tell you now, you're missing 7, 12, 13, 17, and 19.
7, 12. Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray is number 7.
Okay, now I'm kind of seeing where this list is going. It's just like if you score 20 a game and you've been in the playoffs, you're here. Um, damn.
All these guys have been all-stars.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Give me Ant.
You said Ant. Ant
Oh, I
Edwards?
said Ant. Yeah, I said
Yeah.
Ant. Give me. Sorry, I'm looking at my list of teams to try to jog my memory.
Do you want me to
Uh,
say who you have?
no, I think I have everyone I
Okay.
listed actually here. I don't know why I said it in other words. Um, Bam?
Yes, sir. Number 12.
Because they just had so many like they've had a few shallow playoff runs
Deep. And a few
and a
deep
few
runs
deep
too.
ones that I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Um, oh, James Harden.
Yes, sir. 13. All right.
Okay.
You need 17 and 19.
Oh my god, okay. I'm thinking of like these Derek White types, these Drew Holiday type. Oh, Chris Middleton.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
19.
And then last guy,
Don't think like that type.
don't think like that type.
Nah, he's not like that type.
Okay.
One of the most like memed
Oh,
player.
Joel
One.
Embiid, Joel Embiid, Joel
Yes,
Embiid. Okay,
sir.
okay, okay, okay. We'll take that. We'll
Bang.
take that.
Locked
I was
in.
gonna
Good
say
stuff.
Kawhi. I was gonna say Kawhi, and I was just like, it's not Kawhi. Like that was
I
the
mean,
name that was in my head the whole time. Like I was like Kawhi, 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 Kawhi. And I was like, it's just not Kawhi. It's just not
yeah. That was good, dude.
Who else is like barely off the list? Is it more like Kawhi types or is it more like Siakam
Barely.
Towns
Yeah.
types?
So you had the other guys were MPJ, Kawhi was 22nd, Siakam was 24th, KD is 25th, and Marcus Smart was 23rd. So yeah, it would have been
Oh,
like
that's
either.
electric. Marcus Smart was 23rd. That's
Yeah,
electric.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm
Very.
honestly
This is very good. This is very good.
pretty okay with
You only
that
missed a
performance.
couple. Yeah,
Towns, I'm still shocked Towns.
I know. You'd think. You'd
Yeah.
think. Well, right, right. It's crazy how high up their Ant is, the Towns not being there, especially with this run on the Knicks. Like maybe
Yeah.
they're
I
not. I don't
just
know. Maybe StatMuse isn't including like the most recent one,
Oh,
but
wait, what?
because then also you think Halliburton would be there and Siakam. Yeah, maybe this is a fake list.
But to be fair,
It was.
Halliburton didn't make the playoffs till like 2 years ago, right? Like this is only the second playoff run, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is
Um,
true.
okay, I'm looking at the stats now. Honestly, just the scoring gap. So this is the thing. Ant and Towns got first rounded in 2021 and 2022. And
Right.
in those series, Ant's putting up 30 a game and Towns is putting up 15 a game. So that probably
Yeah.
creates like a big enough gap for that
Oops.
to make sense. For that to make sense,
Right.
like mathematically.
Yeah.
Damn, that was actually a great quiz. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Good stuff.
With that,
All right.
we're gonna jump right over to our last section of the podcast, which we've already recorded that I referenced in the opening. Is our immaculate grid, soon to be hoops grid section.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's
thanks.
see how we do.
All right, we're here with our immaculate grid. Anthony and I have been on a kick of doing a lot of hoops grids, which is not immaculate grid. In my opinion, it's a little better. It's a little bit more forgiving, and you kind of get more shots at it. So I don't know, you get to talk about more players, think about more players. That said, immaculate grid, if you don't know what it is, you just go through the grid. If it's in the top right here where my cursor is, you got to find a Heat player who's had a 10 plus rebound per game season. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. You'll see us go through, and hopefully we'll do well. I don't know.
Interesting. So a lot of teams
Is it so? Is it any player who's had a 10 plus rebound per game season,
with that team.
but it has to be with that team?
I believe so. I don't think we could do like,
Oh yeah, when paired with a team, it must be achieved with that team in a single season. You're right.
yeah.
Well, okay, Heat, like Hassan Whiteside. Um,
Yeah, Hassan Whiteside, Shaq.
Bosh, morning.
I don't know. I don't feel good about Bosch, to be
And it's
honest.
not worth either.
Um,
Morning,
yeah, morning. Bam.
bam.
Um, okay, so
Like,
is
is
there
this
anything like
any Stromel Swift or something like that? Like, is there some old ass guy?
10 rebounds is tricky?
Never got him a lot.
Um, hmm. I feel like Hassan Whiteside's like a fan favorite
Yeah,
on
I feel like
these.
everyone is something.
But like,
Um,
is he going to be more popular than Bam or like Shaq? Like recent guys. Um,
are you worried Morning hasn't had a 10 rebound game since?
no, I think Morning could be fine.
I feel like he's less obvious than the other two.
I think we
Are
have
there
to
any
be okay.
older? Yeah,
Any older? Well, the Heat came around in like '89. I'm sure they're. This is where like the
yeah, I don't remember those
knowledge.
old.
Yeah, yeah. This would be where the knowledge would be helpful. Um, I feel like we could do morning and then just like the thing with like hoops grid or whatever is that you can get like as low of a score as you possibly can, but with this one you just kind of have to like take what you have. All right. All right.
40%?
Dude, come on, bro. How did we
That's
get the
crazy.
guy who was the most? That's
Wait,
messed
that's
up.
crazy, actually.
All right. So we're down in a hole to start. Um, that's also
That's terrible.
crazy. Yeah,
10
having more like
rebounds, 10 rebounds Spurs. I'm trying to think of some randos. Like, I don't think Dewan Blair did it. Do you think Chuck Hayes maybe did it? Probably not. Obviously,
um
Robinson,
Robinson,
Duncan, Splitter didn't do it.
Rodman did it.
Rodman did it.
Um, hmm. Wemby, obviously.
Has he had a 10?
Um,
He's had
I think he did. Yeah, I think he snuck over. Um,
LaMarcus Aldridge?
I don't. Artist Gilmore.
Oh, artists, like, especially for the era, I feel like he probably did. But didn't he just play like a few seasons?
He did just. Well, he was with the Bulls.
Gervin? Did Gervin get up to 10 during the late
No,
70s, early
I don't
80s?
think so. I don't think so. That would have been a lot. Um, hmm. But somebody I do like for Rockets Spurs is going to be my favorite guy, Moses Malone.
Yeah, I like that too. Um,
If we just want to get that out the way. But for this, I feel like Gilmore could be fine.
you want to go for it? No.
Oh, should we? It's so early, but all right.
All right,
Yes.
5%. Let's go.
All right.
That's good.
That
That's good. We'll take it.
yeah.
Okay. I'm down to just jump to what Spurs Rockets. You said Malone. Is there anyone else?
Um,
Did Omar Ashik play for the? No, he played for the Bulls, not the Spurs. Uh, I'm trying to think of some like randos.
right. I mean, no. I was thinking Steve Kerr. Ori,
I was
Robert
thinking,
Ori,
yeah, Ori. I was thinking Raja Bell, but Raja Bell played for the Suns.
his
Actually, he didn't
sons.
play. I don't think he played for the Rockets. That era, that 2002 to 2014, like Rockets,
Yeah.
Mavericks, Suns, Spurs, all those players got mixed up in my brain.
Yeah, for sure.
McGrady.
Yeah, T Mac, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Um, hmm. I mean, I'm always just go with like the older player because I feel like
Yeah,
it's not as new, but
I'm down.
all right.
2%.
All right. Bringing down that average.
You want to just knock out the last Spurs, or do you want to go
Sure.
back to Jazz? Okay, let's go. Let's do that. Spurs, Lakers. That's
Dennis
tough.
Rodman.
Van Exel. Did he play for
Did
the
Van
Spurs?
Exel?
I think he played for the Spurs. I might be tweaking.
Hmm. Any
Or did Van Exel
that
play for the Jazz? One of the two.
maybe a J-
I don't know.
huh.
That's kind of tough.
This is kind of tough. All these are kind of tough. Um,
There's definitely like these like randos in the middle of like the 2000s.
mhm. Hmm.
Oh, I've been thinking about the Rockets for some reason. Um,
Spurs?
Did Bryn Forbes play for the Lakers? I don't think so. He's just been
I
around
don't
the
think
league.
so. It's like tricky, like going like in the Spurs Lakers direction or the Lakers Spurs direction. I feel like I'm thinking Spurs towards Lakers.
Yeah, I've been thinking that one too. Uh,
Did like Doc Rivers play for the Lakers?
I don't think he
Did
did, but that
did
sounds
like
about
Mario Ellie play for the Lakers? Did Michael
did he
Finley
play?
play?
Mario Ellie play for the Spurs?
He did play for the Spurs.
That could have been a good Rockets person
Oh, really?
because he was on the title winning teams um, for the Rockets.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
okay, I mean Robert Ory. So Robert Ory and Dennis Rodman.
yeah, I mean, I'm down to just go for Ori. That would,
Sure, it's gonna be high, but I'm down for it. We're trying to be immaculate, not low.
yeah.
Oh, gross.
If it was Hoops Grid, then we'd be just
Yeah,
trying out all the guesses.
yeah, exactly.
Do you want to just do Jazz 10 rebounds a game?
Sure. So
Malone, Malone,
Malone,
Boozer,
Boozer. I think maybe
Al
Marquis.
Jefferson.
Al
Oh, Eaton
Jefferson could.
definitely. Eaton
Marquis.
definitely.
I mean, he's a blocks guy that I don't know if it always translates to boards.
But I think he definitely had to have at least one, right? Like he was just there for 15 years. He was there pre Malone, right?
Yeah, like kind
So
of
I
pre
kind of
with
so I
rest
kind
in
of think that
peace.
was like I think it's pretty good.
Sure,
Eaton.
sure, I'm down.
Oh, now I'm scared.
Me too.
Okay.
20%
That's
people know their
tough.
hoops.
Yeah, people know their hoops. I respect. I mean, these Jazz Rockets. I mean, Jeff Green is easy, but
Yeah. Um, did like Beno Udre play
oh,
for?
that's a pull. That might
I,
be. I think you might be right. I think you might be right, but I don't know. Did he play, wait? Did he play for the Kings? He might
yeah,
play.
that might be a Kings guy. Um, hmm. Damn,
That's
these
a
are
pull
tough.
though. That's a good pull. Um,
Maybe so we could just. I mean, we can think of Rockets players and Lakers players because like they both line up with. We don't
yeah.
have to worry about the Spurs. Hmm. Did Kevin
Laker. I
Martin
mean,
play?
Lakers Jazz is Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan
Easy.
Clarkson's an easy one. That's a very good easy one. Um, obviously Carl Malone is too obvious.
Did Ryan Anderson play for the Jazz? No, he just played for the Magic. Or like I don't remember it.
Mm, dang, bro.
Derek Favors. Um. Oh,
Derek Favors.
Derek Williams. I can't remember if he played. He played for the Cavs after he played for the Jazz, but I don't know if he.
Mm. Did anybody else? Did Andre Karolinko play for anybody else?
I don't
He must
remember.
have.
He
Yeah.
must have, but I don't remember.
Did Kevin Martin play for the Jazz after the Rockets? He played for the Timberwolves. He
Thunder,
played for the
Thunder.
Thunder. He played for the Kings. But I guess I'm
That
thinking
feels like a lot
wrong.
of teams. That feels like a lot of teams.
Yeah, one of those like big team merchants. I mean, should we go with Jeff Green for the?
Yeah, I'm down.
He played for the Jazz, right?
Yeah, 47%.
Oh my Lord,
We're
brother. We
terrible.
are
We're
we are
terrible.
selling. All
We need
right.
to go back to
Happy,
Hoops Grid. We're Hoops Grid
yeah.
merchants, bro.
Monday Memorial Day. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Uh damn. This is gonna be a big like look in the mirror kind of day. Um dang Jeff Green.
Where did Mike Miller play?
Uh he played for the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies and the Heat. Did he play for the Rockets? Is that that's where you're thinking?
That was kind of what I was thinking, but I don't think so. Dude, we are terrible.
We are
Trevor
so bad.
Ariza?
Oh, Kyle Lowry. Did he play for the
Ooh,
Rockets? He did. We could try that.
he played for the
Um,
Rockets, right?
Kyle
Yeah,
Lowry.
he did. Early, or
Yeah,
yeah,
before he
at
popped
the beginning
off.
of
Yeah,
his career. Yeah, I
yeah,
totally forgot. Um, yeah, I'm down.
yeah. Sure.
Okay, okay.
All right. Whatever.
Lakers, Heat, Gary Payton, right?
Gary Payton is a good one. I mean, obviously
Obviously.
Shaq. Um, I feel
Did
like there's.
Luol Deng? Did Luol Deng play on the Lakers a few games? Am I making this up at the end of his career? Um,
Why does that kind of sound right?
I think it's true, but it's fine. I don't want to guess that. Like I think he was on the Heat when he placed LeBron, um, and they were good. And then after that, I think went to the Lakers. But anyways, I don't remember well enough.
Lamar Odom
Lamar Odom.
could be a guy. Glenn Rice could also be a guy.
Oh, I think that's a good one. I think we should go with Gun Rice, honestly.
All right,
Yeah,
nice.
2%.
This is either like awful or like solid.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
okay.
literally like Gilmore, Malone, Rice, and then the rest terrible. Jazz Lakers.
So we got that Jordan Clarkson option. Um, can't even consider Karl Malone as an option.
I'd rather just go Clarkson at that point.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
who are their role players, man, in the 90s?
I know. Why are we like
Why are we? I'm
saying?
blanking out. I'm blanking out completely.
I know.
Dude,
Hmm.
Cedric Ceballos? No, I don't even play for Utah. Um,
Yeah, the Utah direction's the
the
tough
Utah
one.
direction is weird. Like those feel like teams that don't overlap a ton. Clarkson. Wow.
Hmm.
I'm just blanking out on these like teams. Like I'm trying to remember like the players. I just can't remember Jazz players at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
Uh,
I mean,
even trying to think of like, why is it like hard to remember that Jazz team that beat the Clippers in seven, like the Chris Paul Clippers with Joe Johnson? Like, even that's hard to remember.
yeah.
Man.
Are we got? We might have to go
All
Clarkson,
right,
bro.
let's just go Clarkson.
All
Come
right.
on. Kelly Clarkson,
Well,
take us away.
this is our or not.
Those
Oh,
are pets.
16%.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that was our inaugural hoops grid, though. I feel
Yeah.
like our
All right.
inaugural grid. We'll do hoops grids from now
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. All right. Only nowhere to go but up from here.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Damn, that was really. I'm trying to Google some people that I had in my mind, but
Hmm.
it's kind of cooked, honestly. Yeah, bro, it's cooked. I don't know anyone who played in Utah, bro.
I know. I feel like there's a few franchises like that. Like either the
Yeah,
expansion ones or like that didn't have consistent high level playoff memories
yeah.
franchises. And that's the Jazz. It's like,
Dwight
oh,
Howard?
like
No,
no, he didn't. No.
no.
I mean, did
But
you look it
remember
up?
he?
Was there any?
I'm
Yeah, I mean he bounced around for sure.
yeah, yeah, but he didn't. Um, dude, I literally can't find anyone. Like, I'm trying to find people off the top of my head. Um, yeah, bro. I literally don't know. I'll just Google
um
Utah Jazz and Lakers players.
oh Beno Udrih played for the Spurs, Kings, Bucks, Magic, Knicks, Grizzlies, Heat.
Okay.
So
Damn. Oh,
he's
Gail Goodrich.
Gail Goodrich. Okay.
Did he?
It's a good one to know for the future. Oh, did he? I don't know. I mean, that's a good player to know, but I don't know if I feel like a lot of these
Nah,
guys
he
could have had
didn't.
like
He didn't.
one.
Or yeah, he played. Wait, he played. Gil Gertis played for the freaking New Orleans Jazz. That's why he
Oh, that
counts.
counts. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
counts.
Boozer apparently played at some point
Carlos Boozer.
for
Oh, he
yeah.
totally did.
Oh, we forgot. Probably should have got Ed Davis. Ed
Davis.
Davis. I
Yeah.
totally remember him playing for both the Lakers and Utah. He played for the Lakers specifically. He played a lot, if I remember. Spencer Haywood, Taylor Horton Tucker.
Spencer
Yeah, that's
Haywood's
bad.
a tough
Wesley
example.
Matthews. That's bad. That's bad. Definitely should have got that.
Damn.
Juan Toscano Anderson, Warriors legend. Also should have got that. Emily Beasley. That's another one that we.
Oof. Sorry, Spittin Hoops. Hey, well, Jordan Clarkson's only 16%. That's not bad.
Yeah, honestly, that's not even the worst one. But
Yeah. All
anyways,
right. Cool. Anything else?
not for me. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
the inaugural immaculate grid. We'll be doing hoops grids from now on, and we'll put up a better performance because we can mess up more.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just also fewer teams to talk about right now. Down to 4 teams. Super excited. Can't wait to see game 4 tonight at 8:30, I believe. Timberwolves have a chance to tie up the series. And we'll see if the Knicks can bounce back once again and make it 2-2. We're excited. These series are going to be the finals is coming up, baby. Best time in the NBA. So we'll be here as always. Spittin' Hoops. I'll let y'all soon.
Bye.